is a beautiful night here at BC Place. The rain has given way, but the roof is closed. We will be inside, but these two teams will be wide open. So much at stake on the line for the Stampeders and BC Lions. We're excited to bring it to you. Farhan Lalji along with Glenn Suter. And Glenn, when you play a team that's been struggling, it's generally called a get-right game. Both of these teams have been struggling, so we'll see who gets it right. We've also been waiting for Nathan Rourke to get it right on a consistent basis. Is that tonight?
Well, this offense has been a little Jekyll and Hyde since Nathan Rourke returned. He's 2-4 since his return. And for example, last week versus Hamilton, 219 in the first half, just 45 yards passing in the loss in the second. For Jake Mayer, big game tonight. He has a losing record this year, but he plays well against the BC Lions. Both games this year over 300 yards.
Dave Dickinson called this an attitude game. He knows their season is all but on the line, and he feels they've done a lot of good things, just not good enough to win. Rick Campbell believes his team still has a high ceiling. It has been 83 days since they have won in this building. He hopes to get that turned around as well. Rene Paredes kicking off. Terry Williams deep for the BC Lions, and we are underway. Williams across his own 20, gets to the 30, cuts back inside, brought down across the 35-yard line where Nathan Rourke and the Lions offense will get things going.
He's thrown for over 300 yards a couple of times this year, both wins, once against Ottawa in Victoria and the other against the Montreal defense. So that's what this offense is capable of, although it's been real up and down. Mentioned the Hamilton loss in overtime last week. Nathan threw for over 200 yards in the first half and under 100 in the second.
Rourke also will not have Javon Catoy with him tonight. Riley Pickett in the game for the opening snap. They hand off to William Stanback, and he breaks through the initial surge, gets close to 7 yards on first down.
Left guard Corey Woodruff will be back in playing at that left guard spot on the offensive line. And when you look at that receiving core, you've got Justin McInnes, second in the league in receiving yards, and William Stanback, who is just behind Brady Oliveira, who I hear had a pretty big game earlier tonight and has tried to pull away from Stanback in that rushing title race.
Stanback off to a good start. Second and short here. The give to Stanback again. Gets across the 45, across the 50. Another solid gain on second down, and the Lions move the sticks.
Stamps will go with Dava at the defensive tackle position inside, and they want someone bigger in there. He weighs in at 6'3", 290 pounds, and they want to try and see if they can stop Stanback in the run game. Bailey Devine Scott plays for Brandon Dozier in the linebacking core, and back at the back end, Trey Roberson, 3 interceptions, and hoping he gets a little karma from Grandpa, the late Larry Heibaugh.
We'll fill you on that in a minute. It's a blitz for Calgary. Rourke gets it up to Aiden Eberhardt, who catches it at the 45-yard line of Calgary.
Nice curl here by Eberhardt, and he gets hit from behind Trey Roberson, but excellent concentration on this curl route. Comes back, takes the hit, and hangs on.
Lions going tempo here from the Calgary 44-yard line after the pickup of 14 yards on first down. BC with 2 first downs already. The fake to Stanback, gets it out to Eberhardt again. No gain on the play, maybe even a loss of a couple of yards before Ben LaBrosse takes him down.
Yeah, quick close by LaBrosse, because it looked like Nathan Rourke had a play here. He's got a guy in the flat, and LaBrosse closes from his zone. That's a halfback dropping from his zone, closing to the line of scrimmage in a hurry.
LaBrosse, the first-round pick, 4th overall in this past draft, making a statement as a rookie in that Stamps defense. Second and long, 2nd and 12. Just 3-man pressure for Calgary. Rourke makes 1-man miss. Not going to make another man miss. It is a sack for Calgary, and that pushes BC out of field goal range. Julian Hauser with the sack.
Hauser gets there. That's his 3rd in the campaign, and he's down at the bottom of your screen here. But this is a covered sack for Nathan Rourke. He had time to throw initially. He had time on the second look, and that 3-man pressure finally got to him.
BC came into this game with 38 sacks allowed, which was tied for last in the league. Stefan Flintoff with the end-over-end punt. Taken at his own 8-yard line. Cam Eccles on the return there. Good coverage on the play by the Lions, and Calgary will start with their first possession from deep in their own end. Jake Maier loves playing against the Lions, especially at BC Place. His first chance with the ball when we come back. In the CFL to have played in every game for his team the last 2 seasons. He'd like to be playing in some playoff games, but that's a tall task at this point. We'll get into the math as we go here, but Maier and the Stampeders offense starting their first drive from deep in their own end.
Well, you mentioned he likes to play against the BC Lions, has 11 touchdown passes against the Lions. That's most versus any opponent for Jake Maier as a starter in Calgary.
Logan in the backfield, the quick throw. This one to Jalen Philpott. He's tackled after a short gain. Gets close to the 15-yard line after a gain of 4.
Had a bit of a rotation at left guard for this offense, so it's Zach Williams back up out of University of Manitoba, and one new receiver, Ishmael Hyman, who Dave Dickinson, I think, hopes can blow the top off this BC defense, maybe get down the field with some good speed and open up things underneath for guys like Reggie Bagleton.
Hyman back in the lineup after missing 3 games due to injury. 2nd and 6 for Calgary from their own 15-yard line. Lions showing pressure, and they bring 5. The quick throw to Bagleton. TJ Lee on the tackle is going to be short of the first down, close to the 20-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and a long one. What do you do here from deep in your own end, Glenn?
Looks like they're going short yardage, and when you have Tommy Stevens, it's, I think, a little less nerve-wracking. Remember how Tommy Stevens started the game against Saskatchewan for Calgary last week? What was it, a 96-yard? No, it was a 69-yard touchdown in short yardage. I gave him an extra 30 there, but
Stevens gets the push close to first down yardage. This spot will be interesting, Glenn. We'll see which official gets the spot here. I think he's got it.
I think that second push got him there, but it was a long yard, and he needed to get to that 21 and a bit. Give him to the first down.
Stamps now 26 of 28 on 3rd and short situations. When you got a guy like Stevens, odds are pretty good. First down out of the way for the Stamps. Maier from his own 21-yard line. This time the handoff. This one to Logan. Stopped after a gain of 4, maybe 5. Let's take a look at the Lions defense.
Yeah, on that defensive line, Siona Tehema, 7 quarterback sacks. That's tied for the league lead coming in to this weekend. And Ryder Varga is going to be in the rotation, but Ben Halatic will start in that will position. Ronald Kent got the pass interference in overtime against Hamilton. That entire group in the back end has to regroup from that and come back and play maybe their best game they want to win tonight.
Josh Banks, the injured BC Lion, after the 5-yard rush from Peyton Logan. We thought Dedrick Mills was going to get the start, but it's been Logan on this first drive.
Well, the Calgary Stampeders have got the run game going of late. Although Dedrick Mills has not had real big games in the 2 previous contests between these 2 teams. I mean, under 50 yards in both of them, although 11 carries in one, 14 in the other. So a little change up with Logan. Maybe not a surprise from Dave Dickinson.
Second and 5 for the Stampeders from their own 26-yard line.
Oh, we got some personnel issues for the Lions.
Yeah, Lions hustling to get a few guys off the field. Maier throws to Bagleton. Cuts inside of TJ Lee again. He's going to be close to the first down. Unlikely he's got it, but close enough for them to go for it again.
Well, it's been a tough season for Calgary, but Reggie Bagleton has done his thing. I mean, if we were going through nominees for outstanding player team to team, my vote's for 84 out of Calgary.
Yeah, I don't think there's much question there. Bagleton with now a catch in 67 straight games, which puts him 99 yards behind his receiver coach, Nick Lewis. 99 receptions, I should say, 99 games with a reception. Stevens again, up and over this time, easy for the first down.
67 straight games with at least a catch, and there's his coach at 166. So just a little bit of ground to make up there, but he's one of those guys, and I played against Alan Pitts. He's one of those guys like Alan Pitts that when you double teamed him, and rest assured the Lions will try to do that tonight, he still could make the catch. He could still get open. That drives you nuts.
Stampeders with some extra linemen in the game. The play action this time it goes short to the right side where Ryan Letter with his first reception of the season.
Big important game. Calgary's fighting for their playoff lives now. I mean, they're not eliminated if they don't get the win in this one, but it might as well be. I mean, it's a deep hole. Get this win and it's a different discussion. They're back in the fight for that final playoff spot.
Stampeders in second and medium again after the 4-yard gain. They've managed to convert the last couple. This time BC just bringing 4. Mayer with Bagleton on the crosser. Cuts inside of Ben Halatic, brought down, has enough for another first down for Calgary.
A couple things that Jake Mayer's done well this season is these high percentage throws, reading it, seeing the zone drops from the BC Lions, and then throwing it underneath, so much so that they gave Bagleton time to turn around and decide which way he wanted to go. Usually they're defensive backs that are closing faster than that. And the other thing for Mayer is he's thrown on the run well this year, better than I think in previous years, getting out and throwing on the move.
Another second down conversion for Reggie Bagleton. Now up to 27 on the season. Logan with the carry. Gets through the first surge, close to first down yardage. Give him 9.
One thing about Logan in the backfield is that when he gets low like he does on this run, he's hard to see. I mean, you can tell linebackers like Ace Ely and Ben Halatic are trying to find where he is. He gets down low. He's in behind those O-line. By the time you get to him, he's picked up 5 or 6.
Tommy Stevens back into the game for the 3rd time. Stevens converts on the 10th play of this drive for Calgary as they just get across midfield.
Getting in that position here where Ryan Phillips may lose some patience on these zone drops with Jake Mayer hitting underneath routes and go to some pressure packages with man-to-man in the back end.
Yeah, I spoke to Phillips before the game, and he talked about having a plan for Bagleton, especially on second down. That hasn't worked itself out so far. We'll see what they do here on first down. Already 7 minutes into this drive. BC brings 1 extra. Logan finds the crease into BC territory. Gain of close to 15. Stampeders are knocking at the door here.
The Lions have not been that bad against the run. They've had moments this year, and certainly through this, their losing streak earlier before the wins versus Ottawa and Montreal, that they were having issues tackling. They were a little sloppy in that department. They haven't really been gashed for a lot of run yards.
Mills checks into the game, releases out of the backfield. A quick throw to Ish Hyman. Tackled right away, ball's in the air. It's a fumble. Ace Ely has it with all sorts of room in front of him. Philpott, the lone man back who can make the tackle, and he does at the 22-yard line. A huge play by the Lions after a very good drive from Calgary to start.
This is a cause turnover. It's the hit that pops the ball out.
BC with the huge turnover into the score zone when we come back.
Who picks up this fumble in the air. Quick throw outside, and was it Ronald Kent that rips it out of his hands? I think it may have been number 21 working with Jalen Edwards Cooper out there on that side. And in behind there it was Ronald Kent, and you know that's great for his peace of mind considering the pass interference call last week.
And that's tough for Calgary. A 7-minute drive with 12 plays, and you come away empty. BC now starting on the Calgary 22-yard line. The give, the fake to stand back, the quick throw. This time it's McInnes with the catch, and he fights forward close to first down yardage. Call it a gain of 8.
Yeah, all kinds of questions for Rick Campbell this week on how to get Justin McInnes the ball more. And good discussion with him this week about getting McInnes. That looked like a design play and a quick throw to get the ball out to 18. Number 2 overall in the CFL behind Justin Hardy.
And for a player with that much length, he does have the ability to make people miss. Lions with the short yardage package in, the extra offensive lineman. The give to Stanback this time, who cuts, not going to get it. In fact, he loses a yard.
Great play by Cameron Judge there. He saw this coming and basically played the play, and he's on the line of scrimmage, and see how he just goes right through that gap. Pickett lined up as a tight end, couldn't get to him in time.
And BC's going to settle for a field goal right here.
It's a big play by Cameron Judge. Talked to Nathan Rourke about playing against Cam Judge. He said, you know, he kind of anticipates that they may spy Judge on Rourke.
We saw him do that earlier against Vernon Adams in Calgary's last win against BC. 22-yard attempt coming up for Sean White. Kick is good. BC draws first blood. Disappointing for Calgary on one end. BC probably wanted to do a little more than have to settle for a field goal, but they get on the board. Calgary gets another chance when we come back.
Yeah, it's like there's many that think maybe we should move the season up and playoffs start in October, and it almost like it is this year, because every team is still able to make the playoffs. If Calgary runs the table, beats Saskatchewan in their game in a couple of weeks by 9 points or more, they could still get in. I think Winnipeg is the only one who's clinched a playoff spot after that win tonight.
The play fake from Merritt, looking over the middle to Hyman. It's overthrown. His first incompletion, and the first time the Stampeders will face 2nd and 10.
And the first basically first deep throw by Jake Mayer. Good push up the middle here. Collapse in the pocket by the Lions front 4. Matthew Betts involved, moving him around a little bit.
Betts looking for his first sack since his first game back, which was touchdown Pacific. 2nd and 10 for Calgary. BC shows 3, brings 5. The check down and the tackle immediately by Ace Ely. Markin Michel with the reception. Gain of 7, but we're not going to see Tommy Stevens this time. It'll be a quick 2 and out for Calgary.
Yeah, Ace Ely, a couple of big plays already tonight for him. Started his college journey at Maryland, finished it at Georgia Tech. His dad is still the running back coach at Georgia Tech, Donald Hill,
who spent some time in the CFL. Grace with the punt. Williams takes it at his own 10. 53-yard punt. Not much room for Williams before he's brought down at around the BC 17. This time the Lions will start from deep in their own end with a 3-0 lead. as the first period.
Well, he's already claimed the title of Diaper Master, and she said that it's pretty impressive that he hit that 50-yard bomb as well, because he barely got any sleep. And you know what? This isn't the first time that they actually celebrated with a little football-style celebration, because during the gender reveal, Shaun White kicked a mini football. Of course, the powder that came out was pink. And I had a chance to speak with Shaun. He said, listen, he was the youngest in his family, so he was never really around babies before. So every time he was around kids, he was a little bit weird. But as soon as he held Maya Rose in his arms, it was really natural. And he said he already hates all of her future boyfriends. Guys.
The check down to Riley Pickett, his first reception of the season. But for Shaun White,
yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations to the entire White family. That's the end of the first quarter, not first period. I know hockey season's coming. We'll be back with the seconds after this. By Calgary that came up with no points.
Yeah, 14 plays versus 8 for the BC Lions, and that turnover, 54-yard return from A. Seeley, was the difference. That led to the 3 points. And yeah, you know, you'd like to see, I think both fan bases would like to see these offenses take some shots down the field. They're playing a little cautious. There's been one throw from Calgary, I think to Hyman, that was about a mid-range dig route. But other than that, the Lions haven't really pushed the ball deep. Even if you don't complete the deep throw, Matt Dunnigan always told me you never go wrong when you go long. And it always made me back up a little bit before every snap.
Well, you can tell Rourke on a couple of occasions has looked down the field. It hasn't been there, and he's wound up checking it down. 4 for 4 right now with second and short coming up. Lions bring the big team in. Rourke under center here, gives to Stanback, who cuts back and gets the first down across the 30-yard line.
So for young running backs that are watching this game, this is why you do that drill where you put your hand down and then you switch the ball over and put your hand down again. It's for that type of situation. You get hit, you got to get low, get your balance back, get that arm down there. He actually didn't have to hit the turf with it, but get the arm down. That's from those drills.
First and 10, the quick throw out to Stanley Berryhill. Can't get any blocks, minimal gain, and this is a play we've talked a little bit about with Jordan McSimming that he's reluctant to use as much, the quick screen. He tells me it's because we don't have great blocking receivers. Showed on that play.
Yeah, well, and a big play by Demario Houston to come up and make the tackle, and that's the block he needs. Jordan Maksymic needs that one block at the point of attack to give his receiver on a bubble screen or hit screen or push to the flat a chance.
Both Hatcher and McInnes missed their blocks, and that leads to second and close to 10. Rourke drops back, getting some pressure. Hauser's there again, and he is sacked. Rourke throws it away, but they're calling it a sack, the second of the game for Julian Hauser, and BC will punt.
Well, he's now got 4, and it didn't look like a real exotic blitz pressure or anything like that. Again, I would suggest that the back end for the Calgary Stampeders playing one of their best games. There's a little bit of a spy from Williams there, just waiting to see if Rourke escapes one way or the other, but the 3-man pressure got home again.
Just a simple inside speed move by Julian Hauser beats Chris Sluger, and BC will wind up punting. Calgary should get good field position after this.
Got something here.
Yeah, Bentley Sanders takes off to his left. He has room. There's a flag down. Flintoff forces him out of bounds in BC territory. Let's see what the call is here.
Flag looked pretty early in the process of this kick.
While the ball was in the air, holding Calgary, number 42. It's a 10-yard penalty applied from where the ball was caught. It's going to be first down.
10-yard penalty, but it's penalized by 40 yards.
Yeah, that is a tough break for Calgary. Happened well before the return. Dave Dickinson not happy.
Ball player, second-round pick out of the UFC. He's right here, and he's going to get the holding call at the line of scrimmage. just hangs on too long. If he's okay now, and then he goes a little bit longer and pulls his guy down with him, that's a 43-yard difference. 10-yard penalty from the point the ball was caught.
Calgary with one long drive, then a 2-and-out. Let's see what they come up with here, starting at their own 35-yard line. This time the handoff goes to Mills, nothing doing. BC stops him right at the line of scrimmage. Matthew Betts right there. Actually, that was Logan, the ball carrier. Manny Rugamba also in on the tackle.
See what they have for second long. Jake Maier is going to be forced to push the ball a little bit here. And again, number 84. Let's see what Ryan Phillips does coverage-wise with Reggie Begelton.
2nd and 9 coming up. Begelton to the left of the screen, line showing blitz. TJ Lee is coming. The pass to Cam Eccles, makes the catch, makes one man miss, and crosses midfield to the BC 50-yard line, gain of 24 on the play.
Well, the Lions back off so much because of this. There's deep routes, and then Eccles just cuts underneath these deep drops by the linebackers. And that underneath stuff's going to be there all night long. The linebackers get that deep.
Biggest play of the game for Calgary as they're back in BC territory, line showing blitz again. Haladic trying to come in and pursue Maier, who winds up wisely throwing it away.
So in these situations so far, Ryan Phillips has gone with zone looks, dropping his linebackers, and he wants those linebackers to get big-time depth. I mean, talking 10 to 15 yards deep, which is why Maier is taking those underneath throws.
They converted the first, 2nd and 10. Let's see if they can do it again here. Lions showing blitz this time, and they bring it. Maier with the throw to Philpott, who's got it, and he's got the first down inside the 40.
Well, that's the second big play for Philpott, because the first was the tackle on Ace Ely and setting it up, giving his defense a chance to hold BC after that turnover in the first quarter to just a field goal. And this is his second big one on that money catch on 2nd down.
Gain of 12 on the play to the BC 38-yard line. Calgary in business now. Extra lineman in the game for Calgary on 1st down. This time they give to Logan. Plenty of room. Gets the 1st down before he even gets touched, and gets to the BC 26-yard line after another 12-yard gain for the Stamps.
Well, that's well blocked up front. Coming from that right side of the offensive formation. Just big on big up front. Getting a good push, and Logan is into the secondary.
TJ Lee with the eventual tackle for the Lions. BC showing blitz again. This time it's Mills with the carry. All sorts of room inside the 10-yard line before finally being brought down by Ronald Kent Jr. But another big gain for the Stampeders. That one 16 yards, and it brings up 1st and goal for the Stamps.
Farhan, you talked about receivers and the need for sometimes for receivers to block. TJ Lee's a contained man on this run off the edge, and Reggie Begelton makes sure that TJ Lee can't get there, and that springs Mills to the outside.
Calgary in the red zone for the first time tonight. 7th play of this drive. Logan in the backfield. Sorry, Mills in the backfield alongside Maier. This time Maier drops straight back, looks to his left, puts one into the end zone for Ish Hyman. It is a touchdown, Stampeders. Stampeders with their second long drive. This one they finish, and now they have the lead.
Yeah, deep crossing route by Hyman, and this is the speed that Dave Dickinson was hoping he'd see from number 81. A guy that could go from one side of the formation all the way deep in the end zone to the opposite side, come up with a touchdown catch.
Hyman with the earlier fumble makes up for it there with that play. A 7-play, 75-yard drive taking just over 4 minutes on the clock. Paredes sends it through, and the Stampeders lead midway through the second quarter, 7-3. Jake Mayer awfully comfortable behind center, takes that hit, but happy with the result.
To the wide side of the field, and he's going to get caught here in a man-to-man with Christophe Beaulieu, the safety out of Laval. Beaulieu had his hips turned, and Hyman went across his face all the way across to the far side of the end zone for that touchdown catch. Jake Mayer got it out of there just in time. Pressure was coming, straight man-to-man with the safety and coverage, and Hyman got across his face and into the end zone.
Terry Williams takes it at his own 17-yard line out across the 30. Penalty flags on the play and a big hit. Darius Williams with the tackle. Stops Williams in his tracks. And BC is going to go backwards after this.
Well, the Calgary offense bailed out Mike.
They're in the return holding. Calgary check BC number 19. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's going to be first down.
Eberhardt getting that penalty. We'll see if the BC offense can bail him out, because the Calgary Stampeders, after the penalty from Micah Tights, went 7 plays, 75 yards.
Correction, the number was BC number 80 on hold.
Ezekiel Tiede with the hold there, backup receiver in his rookie season. BC starts from their own 16, and they really haven't got much going outside of a couple of plays early on that first drive. This time, handoff to Stanback, gets across the 20, picks up 5 on first down.
Really hard to put your finger on, except for, I would say, the secondary for Calgary in this first half has put together a real good half. There's been times when Nathan Rourke has had the time in that, at least in that initial read or two, but the secondary is in lockdown back there.
Micah Alway with the tackle. Calgary bringing pressure. The throw to the left, and it is dropped by Stanley Berryhill. Easy first down. Got to make that catch.
Yeah, you do. And, you know, those are plays that happen to teams that are struggling. You know, those are plays that, you know, you go behind in the score. Calgary comes off. You need to answer. A penalty on the kick return gives you bad field position. A great throw by Nathan Rourke. Hit him right between the 8 and the 3, and Berryhill let it hit the ground.
Looking upfield a little early. Now Stefan Flintoff into punt. Taken by Bentley Sanders at his own 40-yard line, and he is dropped right away at the 42. When we come back, Stampeders will look to take advantage of a gift courtesy of Stanley Berryhill. His defense that has made things easy on their opponents this season.
Well, you've talked about how he likes to play against the BC Lions. He's now thrown 12 touchdown passes to just 2 interceptions in his games as a starter in Calgary against the BC Lions. That's better than any one of the teams that he's played.
Opposing quarterbacks have completed almost 74% of their passes against BC. Another quick completion out here to Philpott. He takes it for about 5 yards. And in terms of pass efficiency, those two statistics, opponents' pass efficiency and opponents' completion percentage, BC is by far the worst in the league. It is a get-right game if you're Calgary's offense right now.
That last drive, they're doing just that. 75 yards, 4 minutes. Finishing with the major.
2nd and 4. As Calgary approaches midfield here. This time the give to Logan. Fights his way through after initially being stopped. Not going to get the first down, but is he close enough for Calgary to go for it?
Depending on where they mark it here, he's going to be 2 yards short. I'm not sure.
Dave Dickinson wants a good look at this one. Initially got stopped firm, but then spun and got the additional, maybe an additional yard.
No, they are going short yardage. 1.5 yards.
Hey, it's that time of year.
Yeah, well, yeah, when you're struggling to stay in the race and you've had a 4-win season to this point, why not? Pedal to the metal.
Stampeders have converted all of their short yardage plays thus far in this game. 3rd time going at it tonight. This time Stevens goes left, has it with room to spare.
Yeah, pedal to the metal, like not play the game to not lose it. Play the game to go and take it. On the road, the Calgary Stampeders haven't won a road game this year. So they've got a lot of demons they've got to exercise and see if they can keep themselves in the race. Coach Dickinson a little on edge this week.
Yeah, just a little fired up when he was asked about his job security. We might hear that a little bit later in this game, but right now his team playing very well. BC pressures with 5. The screen pass. Logan beats TJ Lee, but he can't beat Ronald Kent Jr. Causes a 1-yard loss on the play.
Well, he was asked about his job security. He's got a few jobs now with the organization, and this was his answer.
What do you want me to say to that, really? I'm f***ing here to work, so I don't really give a damn. I'm here to work. Speculate all you want, but I'm here to work.
Now, we've covered Dave Dickinson as a player, too. And that look in his eyes there, I've seen that before.
Yeah, not happy with how things are going, but not afraid to compete to make it better. Mayer on 2nd and long. Matthew Betts chasing him. He avoids it and throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, throws it away. Only really had one target over there, and that was well covered. So Calgary will kick it away here and play the field position game.
BC brings 5. Matthew Betts still looking for that 2nd sack, as we mentioned. Mayer makes the smart decision. Terry Williams deep to receive the Cody Grace punt. Lets it go, but it bounces back Calgary's way. Now he picks it up. The 55-yard punt before being knocked out of bounds. No yards on that play.
I ain't saying I'm an angel, baby, if you can't tell. No, I ain't to take you home to mama tight. And I ain't saying he's a bad guy. All I know is that guy must have up and lost his mind tonight. Shut down to the ice in that train.
Nathan Rourke trying to get this offense moving with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Begins this drive at his own 18-yard line. Rourke drops back to pass, looks over the middle, able to squeeze it in there to Justin McInnes. Gain of 7 on the play.
Wow. He fit that in, but there wasn't much room. McInnes all by himself out there, and watch the defenders. Cam Judge right there. Demario Houston. Demario Houston cuts underneath from the other side. He might have that.
Look at the time of possession here. And a lead of almost 11 minutes for Calgary in terms of how much they've had the ball in this game. Let's see if BC can get a first down here. They empty out the backfield. Rourke finds McInnes again. This time he's got the first down across his own 30-yard line.
Yeah, baby steps right now, I think, for the Lions offensively. Just stack a few first downs at the very least to just get a little bit of confidence and give your defense a rest.
That gets us to the 3-minute warning. When we come back, the Lions still have a long way to go to get their first touchdown of the game.
showing you old photos again? Jess?
When he was ripped up, baby.
Ripped up. Oregon, baby.
Now he's built like Homer Simpson.
Oregon game.
These guys are having way too much fun. You know, the one thing we know about the Gravy Bowl, which is what they're calling this game, is that's a meal Milt would never eat. Right? Like, he wouldn't go near a Gravy Bowl.
I don't get that. But okay. He's just eating carrots and stuff? Is that all he eats?
Yeah, there's no gravy in Milt's diet. Davis, maybe. This time the fake to stand back. Rourke escapes the pocket. He's going to keep it and go. He gets the first down across the 45 before being brought down. Gain of 13 on the play.
You can see the fighting the dog from Nathan Rourke here, not hook sliding when he got into the danger area where there's some tacklers around him. He sees the middle open up and takes off, but he wants to stack some first downs and keep his defense from having to come and stop Jake Mayer. No hook slide there.
BC getting close to midfield. Looks like there's some confusion as to where his receivers should be lined up. The fake to stand back again. Rourke spins inside, being chased from the backside. Makes one man almost miss, gets to midfield, and a gain of 9. That'll bring up second and short for BC.
Julian Hauser was chasing him down from behind, giving him a little pat on the back, saying, "Oh, you got a little acceleration there, number 12." That's why Rourke felt that he might see some spy from Cam Judge, possibly, who's done that before, as you mentioned, Farhan, but you can see the foot race.
Goes down before Micah Awe can get to him.
That's pretty good speed from Hauser.
Rourke stays in for second and short. Rourke slides to his right. Should have the first down. David Mackey, the normal short yardage quarterback, still out. Likely to come back next week along with Javon Catoy, but for tonight they'll have to make do without him again.
Well, and David Mackey does more than just the short yardage. He's an excellent tight end. He's an excellent blocker as a fullback. Good on the teams. They have missed him, as they will Javon Catoy until he gets back.
Yeah, Catoy was on pace for his best game of the year last week before getting hurt in the second quarter. Andrew Pearson and Riley Pickett into the game for the Lions. The 300-yarder of Pearson in motion. Stays in to help. This time Keon Hatcher open on the left flat. Takes it to around the Calgary 40-yard line. Gain of 14 on the play. The Lions offense finally starting to look comfortable.
I loved watching right here Andrew Pearson playing fullback. He's just bouncing around in the backfield. He actually went out into a route to the flat, I think. He just living his best life right there. Big old lineman pretending to be a fullback.
He caught one earlier this year. Biggest smile on his face. Gain of 15 on the play. BC at the 39-yard line. Their best drive of the game. Their earlier points came as a result of an interception. This time the quick throw to McInnes again. Close to first down yardage as he gets across the 30. Might be a little bit short here.
Yeah, you can tell that Nathan Rourke is feeling a little pressure. I mean, this is their best drive, and in this drive he's run twice for a first down in one run and close to a first down in the other.
BC going tempo. McInnes with his 4th catch. Standback hesitates in the hole. Close to first down yardage. We'll see if he gets there. If not, you have to think the Lions will go for it here with 1:09 to go.
Oh yeah, there's no question. They're inside of a yard. They snap the ball and they get the first.
Ninth play of this drive. Nothing fancy or exotic. Slowly working their way down the field. Kieran Poissant into the game now. Rourke drops back. 5-man pressure for Calgary, and he is brought down. That is Mike Rose with the sack, and a huge loss, more than 10 yards.
He's up against Suk Chung here, at least lined up in front of him. Right in there is Mike Rose, who's had, by his standards, sort of an average pedestrian type of year. Down a little bit statistically. Still getting it done and doing his job, but we're used to big numbers from Mike Rose.
Still leading the Stampeders. That was his 6th sack of the season as he just beat Suk Chung inside. Now 3-man pressure for Calgary. A quick throw. That one, Eberhardt. There's the Lions just try to get close enough to make it an easier field goal for Sean White.
Yeah, the ideal there is that, you know, Nathan Rourke sees coverage, throws it underneath, and if his receiver can make a couple of guys miss, they make the play. If not, they're in field goal range. Chip shot range for Sean White.
40-yard field goal attempt coming up for White, who's already made one today. That first one a 22-yard chip shot, but this one very makeable for White.
Makeable. I shouldn't say chip shot. 40 is not a chip shot.
Kick is up, and it is good. Of course it was a chip shot.
Well, very makeable is a better way to say it, I think, from 40 and beyond. But, yeah, he's been money all year.
Lions close the gap to 1 with 5 seconds left in the quarter. See if Calgary takes a shot here, just takes a knee and goes into the half with a 1-point lead. Reminder at halftime, we'll give you the lovely and talented Kate Burness. Not necessarily as lovely or talented for the other three. Well, they've got talent.
They've got talent.
They've got talent.
And one only eats carrots.
And one only eats carrots and salad. No gravy in Milt Stiegel's diet.
Yeah, I think you're Calgary. You're on the road and up by 1. It's a good half.
Calgary takes a knee. They'll go into the half up 7-6. Will they have to do one more? I think they will. And if you look at Jake Maier, Glenn, so far in this half, you've got to be pretty comfortable with the time you've had to throw, with your ability to pick up first downs. Everything's been a comfortable situation for Jake.
Well, and he's, you know, I mentioned at the break, at the quarter turn, that both quarterbacks, I think the fan bases would like to see them push the ball, but Jake Maier is playing the way he should be, putting the ball where it should be put, because of the way the Lions are playing defensively. If they're going to drop their linebackers 20 yards, you're going to take that underneath stuff all day long. I mean, you know, and he's been very precise with that.
Here he is downstairs with Chantel.
Jake, your thoughts on the first half so far, going into the half with a 1.
Their guy, and they're going to keep going with him. And his best drive was late in that first half. Used his legs a couple of times and a couple of big plays and big runs.
We heard the panel at halftime. It's not like VA is going to be able to protect for himself or catch balls and, you know, do those types of things. It's there for them if they want it with Rourke.
Or make tackles on defense.
All right, kickoff taken at the 30-yard line across the 35. Tyson Middlemost with the return.
Well, one of the different things that Dave Dickinson did to start this game that I'm sure most people weren't thinking he might do is go with Peyton Logan basically as a starting tailback.
Logan 6 carries for 44 yards. We were expecting Mills to get the start, but Logan certainly has had his share of miles with this Calgary offense, and he's in there again right now to open up the third quarter. Calgary from their own 35. Logan with the handoff. Gets some room, close to 7 yards before finally being brought down. Very positive gain on first down for Calgary.
Yeah, it almost feels like in a couple of these runs for Logan, and I'm sure we will see Dedrick Mills in the rotation, but a couple of these runs in the first half with Logan, it's almost like the linebackers, because they got big old linemen on them, are catching the tailback rather than attacking and hitting them in the hole. They're not really scraping to the hole right now. They're catching them and going down with them after 6 or 7 yards.
See what they do here on 2nd and 3. Extra lineman in. Logan has it again. Fights through some tackles and gets his way out across the 45. Good for a first down. But may have fumbled there. Reggie Bagleton did wind up recovering it.
Looks like they're ruling him down because they're putting the ball, they're spotting the ball where he went down. See if he did fumble it. I think it was after he was down by contact. Better angle here. Yeah, knee down.
First down of the half for Calgary. Out to their own 46-yard line. Calgary playing with that extra offensive lineman on most of their first down situations. Another give to Logan. This time BC stops him for minimal gain, maybe just a yard on the play. Logan slow to get up after this one.
Boy, he sure is. Take another look at who got the hit on him in the hole. This was a D lineman, so it looked like Tehema off the edge got the stop started.
Ely also there to clean it up. 2nd and 9 for Calgary. Let's see where 84 is lined up. BC brings 4. Eccles with the reception. Close to first down yard and should have enough. Ace Ely there to make the tackle.
Dedrick Mills in there just in case there's blitz. He doesn't see it, so he tries to escape the pocket and get out there and become a receiver, but the timing was there for Jake Mayer. Nice throw and catch. Eccles on that inside route. Got 9 yards and a new set of downs.
Kent with the initial tackle before Ely came in to finish it off as Calgary crosses midfield. 5th play of the drive down to BC's 54-yard line here. Line showing blitz. TJ Lee coming. TJ Lee gets to Jake Mayer.
Tougher to escape when it's a DB, basically a DB coming off the edge. And that's exactly what TJ Lee did. He came from the left of your screen, off the edge, straight run to Jake Mayer. And pushed him 9 yards back, took him down.
TJ Lee in the Guardian cap has played a total of 143 games for the Lions, including regular season and playoffs. By far the longest tenured Lion. This time BC rushing just 3. They check it down to Philpott, who makes one man miss, makes another man miss, but can't get back much more than the original line of scrimmage. A few extracurriculars here. We'll give Philpott 10. That'll bring up 3rd and 9.
Intensity getting turned up a little bit. Both these teams want to stay disciplined. They certainly don't want to be taking a penalty after the whistle, but Philpott's made a couple plays, got a couple of 2nd down catches, conversion catches, and that big tackle on the fumble for Calgary in the first quarter.
A native of North Delta, British Columbia. He always likes coming back here to play, where he played some high school football playoff games. Grace on to punt. Terry Williams lets it go into the end zone. Takes a knee, gives up the point in exchange for the field position. And we'll take a break. When we come back, it is a high completion percentage for Nathan Rourke in the first half, but not necessarily a ton of production.
No, you know, and again, like Matt Dunnigan said at halftime, that both these quarterbacks sort of keeping things close to the vest and not really stretching the field. You know, that Rourke was under some pressure, sometimes 3-man pressure, as was talked about at halftime, but 26 passes in that first half between the two quarterbacks, 21 of them were 7 yards or less.
Calgary with some pressure this time. Rourke pulls it, gives it to McInnes. It's about 5 yards, maybe a little more on first down. The 5th catch of the night for Justin McInnes.
One of the things that, you know, I think is different from Nathan Rourke 2 years ago was a different style of offense where he was using the tailback in the passing game a ton. You know, and it was Butler at that time, and so they've got a different tailback now. a very productive one in William Stanback, don't get me wrong, and who can catch the ball out of the backfield.
Stanback staying in. Calgary showing blitz. Rourke looks to pull it down, gets it out to Andrew Pearson. He released earlier. This time he catches it for the first down. The big man knows how to celebrate.
How about the first down signal from big Andrew Pearson? I love it. 6'3", 300. And, you know, I think when Rourke sees him, he holds it for a second going, should I? Well, I better, because I'm getting sacked. Talk about being the last read.
This time the fake to Stanback. Rourke's looking deeper. Has a completion. Keon Hatcher with it at the 40-yard line.
I think it surprised Hatcher when he came out of his break there, because he was in that 2-receiver spot, and he's going to kind of run that outside curl. Goes down the field here, and as he comes out of his break, ball's in the air right now, and he kind of, I got to come back and find it. Nice 18-yard gain.
Meanwhile, Pearson just went back to the bench, and about 20 Lions went up and gave him some love. His second catch of the year for the big lineman out of Kingston, Ontario. Meanwhile, Calgary showing blitz again. Stanback has it. Can't get much there. Runs right in to Mike Rose, among others, for no gain.
Take a look at that 22 season for Nathan Rourke, where he was the outstanding Canadian, and his completion percentage way up there. Now, keep in mind, he had a guy by the name of Brian Burnham in the receiving corps at that time. You know, he's got some great players out here now, but there's some of them, like Justin McInnes, that he's still trying to work on the chemistry with.
Yeah, Dom Rhymes and Lucky Whitehead also part of that receiving crew, and they were kind of at the peak of their powers, for lack of a better description. Calgary blitzing again. This time the throw, and it's not caught. Hatcher again. Ben LaBrosse there to break it up. Only the second incompletion of the day for Nathan Rourke.
Fifth straight start for Ben LaBrosse, and you know he continues to make plays. I mean, top draft pick, first rounder for Calgary, 4th overall. They knew what they had when they drafted him. They knew what he could become, and I think he's going to be an all-star halfback.
Yeah, when they went into the draft process, Dave Dickinson said to me, this guy's different. He knew that he was not the same as any of the other DBs in the draft, that he could do a little bit more. And playing halfback is not something you see a lot of Canadians given the opportunity, but he's taken a hold of it. Sean White, meanwhile, the kick is up, and it just makes it from 47 yards, and the Lions take the lead, 9-8. Let's take another look at the Canadian from McGill. Comes in and breaks up the play on one of the CFL's best. After the loss against Saskatchewan, every time we get where we need a win or feel like a win could get us going in the right direction, we lose. And for a guy that spent a lot of time winning, this has to be difficult for the Calgary head coach and GM.
Yeah, both as a player and a coach. The Calgary Stampeders are winless in their last 6 games. That hasn't happened in 20 years in Calgary. The last time they were winless in 7, the price of gas was 24 cents. You could buy a house in Vancouver for 80 grand.
And Glenn Suter probably still had a mustache.
Rocky was the #1 movie that year.
Wow.
That's how long it's been since the Stamps have gone to a 7-game winless streak. And that's what they're trying to avoid tonight. Not to mention, as Rick Campbell said coming out of the halftime locker room, they're trying to fight for their playoff lives right now.
BC with a 1-point lead. Calgary 2nd and 2 after Markin Michel's 8-yard reception on first down. Mayer stays in the game. This time the fake to Logan. Mayer looks like he wants to go deep to Bagleton. Does he have him? Just overthrows him in behind Manny Rugamba. Good coverage on the play. But that's going to make it 3rd and 2, a full 2.
You know, I think far end Rugamba recovered to this. He was real upset and vocal after this. I mean, he catches him, but there's some open receivers and a lot of space back there. I'm not sure if that wasn't a bust. He reacted after that throw and missed by Mayer. he was really frustrated with the coverage back there.
And generally you go for that shot on second and short thinking you'll go for it on third. They didn't. Grace is on to punt. Terry Williams takes it near his own sideline, a 49-yard punt at his own 14, brought down after a short return across the 20-yard line. When we come back, the Lions with tough field position to start as they look to add to their lead. Nathan Rourke trying to build on the last drive.
Which is pretty odd. We're going to redo everything. We'll redo the play. The kick hit the scoreboard again.
There's not much more I can say than Ben has said. Yada, yada, yada. We're going to redo the play.
Along with yada, 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 they actually raised the scoreboard 4 feet. I don't know if that's going to help, but can't hurt.
Well, I said after the third one, I don't think they can move the scoreboard, but I stand corrected because apparently they can, and it's 4 feet higher now. That ball, by the way, I think is still stuck in there somewhere.
Meanwhile, William Stanback stuck in neutral on that carry. Micah Awe and Bailey Devine Scott send the BC running back for a loss of 3.
And Major back and reffing this one tonight.
Yeah, we brought him back for the occasion, just in case. I think Flintoff's been trying to do it. 3-man pressure as Rourke drops back to pass. Has a crosser to Stanley Berryhill, who makes the catch. Gets out to the 29-yard line, well short of the first down. And BC will go 2 and out.
Very nice tackle by Bailey Devine Scott out here. I mean, there's a chance here with this crossing route all the way from that side to get to the wide side of the field is Berryhill, and watch this tackle. That's not waiting to catch the receiver. That's attacking him.
And the throw was behind him. You wonder if he'd let him, if that might have gotten there, but it doesn't take anything away from the tackle, no doubt. Flintoff now at his own 15-yard line, getting set to punt. Nowhere near the scoreboard. Taken at his own 30-yard line. Nice tackle on the play by Berryhill. Sanders with the short return after the 51-yard punt. And Calgary will take over at their...
Yeah, a lot on the line for these Calgary Stampeders. I had a chance to speak with veteran defensive back Trey Robertson, and he told me that, listen, it's been the best week of practice we've ever had. We're playing with a little bit of urgency because if we don't make the postseason, well, guys are also playing for jobs. And as for quarterback Jake Mayer, he also knows that it is his final year in his contract. He says, of course, when he's at home with his wife, he does think about it, but all he wants to do is play football, make good plays, and focus on that, and hopefully making the playoffs. Guys?
Tall task. They got a
lot of work to do, but, you know, one game at a time, one play at a time. You can't win 3 games on one drive. So they understand that.
This time they give to Logan, who cuts back, has some room. TJ Lee eventually trips him up, but not before a gain of 7 yards.
He gets low in the hole, and it's really tough to find him. And then when you find him, a couple of these spin moves are given the run defense for the BC Lions some fits. That spin, another 2 yards off of that one.
And he's normally the kick returner. We've seen Sanders as the kick returner in this game because obviously the game plan was to give Logan the bulk of the carries for this one. Second and short, they go to him again, and he gets the first down. Gain of 6 on the play for Logan.
One of the pre-snap indicators is how deep the tailback is. Look how deep Logan is behind Jake Mayer. That 2nd and 3 or 4, if he's that deep behind the quarterback, he's trying to get a run at the line of scrimmage before he gets the ball, then take it with speed so he can slam into there and get the necessary yards.
Up to 69 yards right now for Logan. Nice block by Christian Akanu on Ben Halatic. First down at the 46-yard line. This time, BC almost has him in the backfield, but he escapes again. Gary Peters trying to wrestle him to the ground. Rugamba comes in, and Logan still manages 5 yards.
Wow, who had the shot at him initially? Because that looked like it might be a loss for Calgary, but give it to, again, Logan here. Good feet. bounce outside of that one, get a couple extra after Gary Peters made first contact.
Yeah, Jonah Tavai got the initial penetration. Not enough to bring him down. Calgary continues to win on first down and create some second and manageable situations. Logan into the backfield now. Mayer drops back to pass. BC comes with 5. Bagleton the receiver. TJ Lee with the pass breakup.
Great timing from TJ Lee. He waited. Bagleton had a step on him on that deep crosser, but TJ Lee waited. He didn't lose his composure, made sure he didn't drag that left hand across the back of Bagleton and just distracted him enough. I think he got the arm just as he went to grab it, just slapped his hand. It was enough. Knocked that ball out.
Yeah, Bagleton not happy with himself, felt he should have had it, but he certainly had more than his fair share. Grace on to punt. Williams at his own 14-yard line. Oh, not much room after the 45-yard kick, and he gets stood up by a host of Stampeders at his own 20-yard line.
Well, that coverage from Calgary was in one row. Like, look at that first wall, and I thought it looked like Williams might have had a little seam. If he popped through there, it was just Cody Grace left, because they were all down at one level, which is something as a punt team you want to avoid. You want to be in different levels. So first level he makes a move, second level makes a tackle.
See what the Lions have here from their own 20-yard line. Rourke drops back, the quick pass to Berryhill. Complete at his own 27-yard line. 7 yards in the play, bring up 2nd and 3 for BC.
And that brings in one of their #1 targets, Andrew Pearson, I believe, is getting out there, and he ran with some jump in his step off the bench to get in there at tight end.
Mom and Dad Pearson will be recording this one.
There he is.
This time the play fake. Rourke looking, has a wide open Keon Hatcher at the 50, at the 40. Hatcher crosses the 35, and a big play, the biggest of the night for the Lions offense.
Well, because 54 drew the coverage, Keon Hatcher got in behind. Watch, Pearson comes out here. Hatcher coming from the other side. He's layered in, and he is wide open. 50-yarder for Keon Hatcher, one of his big plays since returning from injury about a month and a half ago.
Lions at the 32-yard line looking to add to their 1-point lead. This will be the final play of the third quarter. Pearson stays in the game. We're going to keep talking about him. This time the give to Williams. Stand back, penalty flags in the play. Micah Awe eventually gets carried for a couple of yards. It is a first down for BC. Let's see what the call is.
Looks like it's in that early movement.
Could have been someone lined up in the neutral zone. Let's see what Ben Major has to say.
We have a procedure for no end. BC had no end closing on their right side. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay first down, but it's the end of the third quarter.
Not what the Lions wanted to hear, but they still have a 1-point lead with 15 minutes to go. They gave up a fourth quarter lead last week. Will it happen again with a team whose season is on the line? Keon Hatcher played a big part in that for the Lions, but this is one of those where you like to say defense can win too.
Yeah, defense can win too. Maybe it'll be a defensive play that will be the difference. But, you know, I thought it was interesting that Rick Campbell at halftime saying that we have to learn how to embrace close games. I mean, the West has been so close this year. It's still a logjam. Such an important game for both these teams. And that's really well said by the coach, because all these games are close. The last two between these two teams were decided in the final 3 minutes, and you got to embrace that. Throw the ball in my zone is the way you got to think defensively throw the ball to me is the way you got to think offensively in these moments. They got a quarter fighting for their playoff lives here.
We'd like to welcome those of us watching on TSN 3. They were watching SportsCenter. Pretty close game for you. Not necessarily a lot of points, but that could change here in the fourth quarter in a hurry. BC first and 15 after the penalty. The check down to Stanback. Cameron Judge there to make the tackle, and he hangs on after a gain of 4.
Well, it's first down over again after the penalty, so Nathan Rourke taking the check down, get that penalty yardage back. Getting them a little more manageable, although it's still second and long.
Well, and for BC, given the way they've approached offensive football of late, just a simple 5-yard penalty is a pretty difficult thing to overcome. Second and 11 for the Lions. Some linebackers creeping up. Just 3-man pressure. Rourke finds Stanley Berryhill at the 20-yard line for a first down.
Early drought for Berryhill has been put behind him because he's made some plays. I mean, that special teams tackle, great read here by Nathan Rourke to throw it on time. He's the soft spot in that zone with Demario Houston dropping off in the deep outside third, and closest guy was Cam Judge dropping from his linebacker spot.
BC's second trip to the red zone. Berryhill splits out to the left along with Keon Hatcher. Rourke drops back to pass, pump fakes once, looks to Hatcher. He's got him just outside the 5-yard line before he's brought down. Cam Judge and a host of others.
That might be the best protection that Nathan Rourke has had all night long. Big guys up front. Sant came in and got a nice chip off the edge and then ran a crossing route. He's getting a chance to play. Kieran Passant from the West Shore Rebels over there on the island. That was a nice block and excellent protection for Rourke.
97 yards for Hatcher right now as Sanders actually whipped the tackle just outside the 5-yard line. The touchdown will go a long way here for the Lions. This time the handoff to William Stanback goes left side, fights his way to about the 3-yard line. Micah Awe in on the tackle for Calgary.
Yeah, Awe was just holding on, wasn't he? He shot the gap and he caught Stanback. Awe's back here. There's Stanback. There's the matchup. Middle linebacker, tailback, and he just shot through with Hauser, who's having himself a night as well. And they meet at 31.
Awe with the Stamps record last year with 134 tackles. Broke Alex Singleton's record, the 3rd highest in CFL history. Coming on strong late in this season. Second and goal from the 3. Rourke moving around, avoiding pressure, looking into the end zone, and he throws it away.
Yeah, good decision. He couldn't set his feet because of that pressure. It started to souvenir for the crowd, but he initially he had a chance. Again, he didn't like what he saw coverage-wise, and then this escape was magic. But watch, he can't set his feet now. And if he's going to try and get it to a receiver there, he's not going to be able to put enough on it. So good decision to throw it up in the stands.
Rick Campbell generally conservative going forward here on 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line with 12 minutes to go in the game. Do you like this call?
I might take the points here, but both these coaches are, like we said earlier, pedal to the metal. I don't think the fans like the decision either.
9th play of this drive. I don't hate it.
Well, maybe they're trying to just draw him offside, see if they can get a freebie.
Time count violation, BC number 12.
Yeah, they're trying to draw him offside.
5-yard penalty. Still going to be 3rd down.
All right. I guess the fans are happy. So is Glenn Suter.
Yeah, I think you got to take the points there. Make it a 4-point lead. And it means that Jake Mears got to find a... Well, there'll be lots of possessions. I mean, both these teams, or coaches, don't have to get nutty at this point.
Well, White with a 22-yarder earlier, another chip shot here from 15 should give BC a 4-point lead. Ben Major coming in from the Calgary bench, whistling the play dead. Lions special teams coordinator Mike Benavides. Coaching gets easier when the kicks are from 15.
Well, I've always said in this game at this level, nothing's easy.
Sean White.
He makes it look easy, doesn't he?
Absolutely. The new daddy, with his 4th field goal of the game, gives the Lions a 4-point lead. Sean White getting awfully comfortable. Two teams with playoff aspirations right here at the 40-yard line for Calgary. BC with their largest lead of the game, 4 points. Mayer drops back to pass, looks over the middle, finds Tyson Philpott.
Best throw of the night for Jake Mayer. He stepped into that one and just knifes it in there to Philpott, who was right on time out of his break. 19-yard gain, good throw right down to the left side of that curl, but Philpott was bang on in his timing.
I think I said Tyson. I meant Jalen with his 5th catch of the night.
Jalen, yeah.
Mom Colleen Purcell watching in Halifax is laughing right now. Figuring after all this time I should know these two. This time the fake and the give to Mark and Michelle with the reception. The 37-yard line. Gain of 14.
Mark and Michelle, that's first target tonight, I believe. Still looking for his first big play of the season. Big play being 30 yards or more. Mark and Michelle still looking for that one, although they'll take the catch in the first down right now.
Calgary already in field goal range now at the BC 38. Lions showing blitz. Mayer over the middle. It is intercepted. Matthew Betts at the 50, the 40, the 30. Matthew Betts is going to score. Touchdown, BC Lions. Betts still looking for his 2nd sack, but he will take the pick 6. Lions up by 10.
What a play by Betts, who is blocked initially at the line of scrimmage, and then he just kind of floats over, and Jake Mayer doesn't see him. He comes up, he's blocked pretty well, so he floats in the throwing lane, and on that little inside screen to Hyman, he is gone. Matthew Betts can run. Good speed for a D-line.
That's only the 3rd interception Jake Mayer has ever thrown against the Lions, and it couldn't come at a worse time. Sean White on to attempt the PAT. The kick is up, and BC extends its lead to 11 points. 9:41 to go. Can the Lions hang on? Matthew Betts, his biggest play of the season, takes it to the house. Lions lead by 11.
Well, let's take one more look at the big play by Matthew Betts. The Calgary Stampeders wanted this screen underneath to Hyman. Again, I showed you where Betts started, and then he kind of drifts over and gets in the throwing lane. But look at his speed. I mean, up is down, back is front. D linemen are running like running backs. Offensive linemen are catching passes. What is going on tonight?
Yeah, we need Dustin Nielsen to scream out, what is happening? Lions with an 11-point lead. Stefan Flintoff to kick off. Sam Eccles takes it at his 18-yard line. Gets it across the 30 before being brought down at the 34.
When we were at the turn far and we were talking about this game, feels like it'll be probably a defensive play that could determine it. Maybe a special teams play, but a lot of football to be played. 9:35 is lots of time left. But Jake Mayer's got to regroup from that.
BC with 10 points off Calgary turnovers. You'll remember the Hyman fumble early that Ace Ely returned deep into Calgary territory that led to BC's first field goal. And this happens with Mayer at times where everything is efficient. They're moving the ball. A lot of good things happen, but then there becomes that one catastrophic play, and it becomes difficult to recover from.
Well, that's what, you know, the embracing the close games is all about, and making those plays, wanting it to be thrown in your zone, wanting to have the ball in your hands with the game on the line. So right now, what Jake Mayer is doing, and you can see him doing it, is exercising the mental demons, trying to let that one go. He didn't see Betts from that other side come across underneath. He's got to try and get rid of it in his mind and get back to slinging it and put together a drive right here.
Riley Pickett looked like he had a cramp, comes off the field after that return. But with 11 points separating these teams, does Dave Dickinson and Jake Mayer, do they decide to open things up a little bit more? Because they've taken a couple of shots, they haven't completed them. Is this the time they've got to go for it?
I think you just keep running the offense at this point.
Logan in the backfield next to Mayer. Three-man rush for BC. Mayer looks to the right, finds Hyman.
The intended target from the disaster play. Hyman getting out there and taking the hit too, going upfield, not running out of bounds, and a nice throw by Mayer. That's the first step after a bad play is your very next play, and that's a completion. That'll help.
Gain of 11, first down at the 46-yard line. TJ Lee coming on the blitz. TJ Lee almost intercepts that. He picks it up. He's going to take it into the end zone in case it was a backward pass. It could be a fumble. They're ruling it a touchdown.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Well, every touchdown is automatically reviewed. And I'm sure the command center is doing just that right now to make sure that this was a lateral backwards and not a forward pass that was incomplete.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown for BC. However, it's an automatic review by the command center because it's a scoring play.
Glenn, that pass traveled 3 or 4 feet.
Exactly.
I don't know how you turn that over.
Well, and it's ruled a fumble here, so because Lee tips it there before it can get forward. So he's basically saying, I tipped a lateral and picked it up on scoop and score.
Yeah, the pass was so short, it becomes so difficult to determine whether it was forward or backward. I mean, the game and in many ways the season is riding on this call. If you're Calgary and you go down 15, that's a big ask.
Let's take another look at this angle. Yeah, I'm not sure how they can overturn it. You know, I've been wrong with this command center, in fact, in recent history, but we'll see.
And this is the challenge when you play to review, because you know there's going to be a review.
Well, and it really matters what the call in the field was, because the command center 3 weeks ago sent down the notes to all teams saying that they want to be less intrusive in games and not overturn unless they see a clear and obvious mistake. And the ruling on the field was a touchdown and a tipped lateral.
And that's my point with it, is because they know there's a review, the referees are allowing the play to go and leaving it to review to make the decision. So now you have to see enough to overturn it.
Well, yeah, they should do that, though. Here we go.
Upon automatic review by the command center, the ruling on the field stands. It's a touchdown.
The BC Lions with 17 points in the last 3:08. 14 of those points, if this convert is successful, come via the defense. Wow.
Defense can win too.
You said that at halftime. And this defense has been much maligned.
Yep.
We've talked about opposing quarterbacks' completion percentages and efficiency and how easy they've made it. But when it needed to be done, the defense came up big time.
Sorry, I curse, but you know Daddy curse. I love y'all, baby. Let's go.
Sean White, the kick is up.
I wouldn't be here.
And good. TJ Lee, the longest serving Lion, makes a massive play to put the Lions up 2 scores. The Lions defense coming up huge in the fourth quarter.
Back-to-back series here in the fourth quarter. Matthew Betts with this long interception and run for a touchdown, and then TJ Lee, 2 veteran football players that wanted the ball to be thrown in their zone. TJ Lee took that one to the house, 27 yards, and now the defense is directly responsible for 17 points.
And now if you're Calgary, there's no choice but to open it up. An 18-point lead, a 3-score lead. They're going to have to take some shots. Eccles with a nice move to get up the left sideline before being hammered. Terrence Gagnon with the tackle, with the hit. And Eccles looks to be injured on the BC sideline.
Yeah, that rocked Eccles now. Give him full credit for not stepping out of bounds there. He could have easily done that. But they're still battling, still trying to get that extra yard. A big collision.
Team Dr. Jim Thorne taking a look at Eccles on the sideline. You don't want to see that at any time. I do want to say that Thorne was also one of the doctors involved with our very close friend Dave Moyer, who's up in the booth. And we are so thrilled that Dave is back doing stats for us late in the season and into the playoffs. He makes CFL on TSN broadcasts so much better.
And has been in I think 80 Grey Cups.
80 Grey Cups. Yeah, I buy that.
Is it 80?
I buy that. Has it been 80?
I think it's 80.
Moisty, we love you.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show, buddy.
They're taking a close look here at Eccles. I thought it may be a shoulder or something where that was the initial contact.
Dr. Bob McCormick from the Lions medical team also there. They did move his legs, which if it was a spinal injury would be very unlikely to happen in that situation. So that's a positive. And if you're Calgary right now with 8:15 to go and one of your teammates is dealing with this, you've just had the points scored against you, and that certainly puts the points in perspective. They're now calling for the truck, the golf cart. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we hope to have the latest, hopefully some good news for Cam Eccles. You'll be able to see shortly that Cam Eccles is sitting. They have lifted him up, so that's a positive. The spinal board is there, but obviously if it was the worst case spinal injury, they wouldn't have him sitting.
No, and he's moving around, and that's all good news. And you know, a lot of times this is precautionary to make sure they get him put on the cart and further examination, you know, in the room. But
I'm sure his teammates are happy to see him sitting like this. His family back home will be relieved as well. Still in some obvious discomfort here. When you're a player and you're in this kind of situation, what do you go through as a player?
Well, it's difficult, and you know, it's the same for the Lions watching the opponent and a player down as it is for his own teammates. I mean, no one wants to see that. They all understand what they signed up for and that it's possible, but you know, you just wish the best. And again, most of the time these are precautionary measures taken by the medical staff, and it you know, I don't know what happened to Eccles, but he's up and moving around, which is a great sign. And you know, and then you've got to hit the switch here a little bit, you know, once they get Eccles taken care of, and both teams then have to kind of get their mind back into going full speed again.
Eccles in his 3rd season in the CFL did spend some time on the BC Lions practice roster back in 2019. TJ Lee and a few others probably with the team still at that time. But he's able to walk to the cart. And everyone will be able to breathe a sigh of relief. Eccles came into the game with 25 receptions for 301 yards and 3 touchdowns. 2 receptions tonight. Player Dave Dickinson speaks quite highly of. Believes he can be a fixture on this roster for years to come.
Yeah, his teammates coming over, and a lot of the guys, Vernon Adams there. A lot of times too, as a player, you're doing an inventory in your mind. You're going, okay, my ankle, okay, that feels okay. My knee, yeah, that's, you know, you're going through where the discomfort is. And
team president Jay McNeil also on the sidelines.
A lot of discussion with Dave Dickinson and the fan base and Calgary about the different roles that Dickinson took on this year, and trying to balance that. Certainly not the reason for the season and the record, but it is difficult. And a round of applause from the fans and both teams to take precautionary for Eccles.
Just getting some clarification on the TJ Lee touchdown, which was ruled a fumble return of 27 yards after a team loss, as opposed to charging the fumble to Jake Mayer. Details at this point, when Cam Eccles obviously the much greater concern. Calgary, as we reset this with 8:15 to go, they're down 18 points. It's a big number. They're on their own 39-yard line. Now, if the Stampeders lose this game,
they're not out.
They're not out completely.
Yeah, they're not completely out, but they're on the edge, hanging on, and running out of fingers on the edge of that cliff.
They could be eliminated as soon as tomorrow if Saskatchewan were to win.
Right.
So if BC wins, Calgary would need to win out. They would need Calgary to lose all of their games. They'd play once more, and they'd have to beat Calgary by 9 points to win that season series. But that would be how fine the margins would be if BC hangs on to win this game. And a BC win doesn't guarantee them a playoff spot either, because Hamilton's not out of it yet in the East. All right, 1st and 10. Mayer drops back to pass. Has a receiver on the left side. It's Cole Tucker. Tucker taken out of bounds by Manny Rugamba after a short pickup.
Yeah, so now both teams hit the switch and get back to full speed, because no matter what, when you cross the white stripe, you want to be going full speed. Tucker with the catch, and in about 2 minutes, Jake Mayer is going to have to get real aggressive, and so will Coach Dickinson.
BC with 3-man pressure, but a handoff here.
I'm saying they can still keep that in. I mean, 7 minutes is still time for 4 or 5 possessions, at least, maybe more. I've seen 3 or 4 happen in 3 minutes. In the final 3 minutes, of course, that's stop time. But so there's chance for more possessions. They need some stops from the defense. Calgary does, but I'm thinking in 3rd and 2 or less. Dave Dickinson's going for it.
Oh, yeah.
On all of them now.
Yeah, 3-down football the rest of the way. Logan with the handoff left side. Brought down after a pickup of maybe 3. And Calgary's going to be in tempo, you'd think, for the majority of this game.
Yeah, they want to. 2 enemies now. One's wearing black and orange, and the other is the time clock.
We'll call it a gain of 2, 2nd and 8 for Calgary. TJ Lee showing blitz again. Gary Peters also coming in the pass high to Ish Hyman. Calgary keeps its offense on the field. 3rd and 8 coming up.
Jake Mayer had to throw around the pressure coming off the edge from Peters. Secondary blitz, and you see he had to put it up and over the hands of Gary Peters. In fact, he touched it, I think.
Peters with a sack in last week's game against Hamilton. You know those corners, they love the corner blitz.
Oh, yeah. You get a chance to rush the quarterback as a DB. Love it.
All right, 3rd and 8. Mayer dropping back to pass. BC coming with just 3. Pass over the middle to Michelle, and he cannot hang on. We'll see if it's an interception. Adrian Green is looking to take it back. He's got some blockers out in front. Green inside the 20-yard line. And we'll see if this one stands. The last one was borderline. BC got it. We'll see what happens here with the review coming.
Well, that one wasn't on Jake Mayer. This is a throw that should have been caught, and it was for 1st down territory over the middle. Mayer throws a fastball in there to Mark Michelle right through his hands, and I think he got there. I think Green made the catch.
Yeah, I think you're right, Suits. We'll get another look here from a lower level replay, but I think he made a heck of an effort to get his hands under it. That's a catch. And the Lions will take over at the Calgary 18-yard line. 6 minutes to go in the game. It would be hard for the Lions to lose at this stage. Do you get aggressive to try to get Nathan Rourke a touchdown pass and build some confidence?
No, you just manage this clock, run it down, get some more points. Those individual stats and things, don't worry about those things.
Well, they're certainly using as much clock as they can here.
Exactly. Run the ball. 1st down for sure.
Lions offense hasn't been on the field in over 6 minutes when you consider the back-to-back turnover touchdowns for the defense. Adrian Green was originally the starter at the safety position. Lost that spot 2 games ago to Christophe Beaulieu, but still getting a lot of opportunities to play.
Calgary.
In nickel packages and dime packages when they need extra defensive backs.
That's his 2nd interception on the season.
Calgary using their first time out here.
That defense for BC He not only stepped up with some stops, but scored. I mean, when your defense
Timer,
scores twice.
please reset the clock to 5:42. 5:42.
There's two veterans.
And they don't never throw it over there, so you know it's going to happen.
A couple hundred games between those two, you think? Gary Peters?
Well, Peters playing in his 101st consecutive game with the Lions, going back to 2018, and we mentioned 164 for
there you go.
TJ Lee if you include the playoffs. Second and 8 here for BC. Stanback still in the backfield. Rourke drops back to pass. Looking for Hatcher, who's caught it. Close to first down yardage. I don't think he's got there. But BC, oh, they're calling it incomplete now.
Well, Calgary is waving their arms.
The ruling on the field is incomplete pass.
Okay.
Third down.
So they did rule it a catch, though. You were right on the call. It was ruled a catch initially, but you could see that Hatcher didn't maintain control.
Bailey Devine Scott with his second breakup of this game, both against Keon Hatcher. And another chip shot field goal. It's been an easy day at the office for the most part for the new dad.
For Dad, yeah. Although if you missed it, he said he wanted to be the champion diaper guy or something in the house. I think you might want to rethink that.
White's kick is up and good. And with that, the Lions increase their lead to 21 points. Nathan Rourke had said that 30 was the magic number. That's what he wanted to get to in any game.
Yeah, he said that seemed to have had success when they can get to 30, but I'm sure Nathan will be the first to, tell us, go talk to the defense, because they were responsible for a couple big scores there and setting up the first 3 points of this game as well with a fumble return.
BC with 20 points off turnovers, 14 points directly from the defense, and the others were set up by turnovers. And Matthew Shills making his first appearance of the season for Calgary. Schultz with the fake, rolls to his right. He's going to keep it, cuts back. Should have a first down on his first play of the year.
7 games injured this season for Matt Schultz, who, you look at his career numbers, over 4,000 yards passing, and he can run the ball as well. And he was injured when Dickinson decided to give Jake Mayer a break, basically, and he went with Logan Bonner. And had Schultz been healthy at that time, it probably would have been him that would have got the start. Bonner threw 5 picks in that game, if I remember correctly.
You do indeed. The handoff there is a gain of 7. Schultz drops back to pass, steps up into the pocket, looking deep for Bagleton. Bagleton has got it. Bagleton will score. A 53-yard touchdown for Reggie Bagleton.
Well, the play's made by Matt Schultz getting out and buying himself some time. I mean, this is once he's out on the perimeter like this, it's either run or throw, run for the first down or throw. Look at all the space he's got, and he finds Bagleton in behind coverage.
Calgary will go for 1 here to make it a 2-score game. And if you're the Lions, 3:55 to go, and you gave up 16 points in the fourth quarter last week. We know how this league works. There's a chance.
Embrace the tight games. And on that play, usually at this time of the game, down 3 scores, we say that defense is playing differently. BC wasn't playing differently there. They weren't playing way off with their DBs or anything like that. They were just playing regular defense, and Bagleton got in behind him.
3:41 to go, 14-point game. You'd have to think the onside kick is coming.
Quad receivers to the wide side of the field. 84 just makes the adjustment on the route. He had a dig route going over the middle, and then he makes the adjustment. And because Schultz found some extra time out there, watch this. He's got a dig route, and then goes, okay, hey. He throw. I got time to adjust. And down the field he went.
Yeah, it looked like as soon as Schultz scrambled, he turned that dig into a deeper route and gave his quarterback an option. A 3-play 70-yard drive in 2:14, punctuated by the 53-yard catch. And now again, you'd think this is onside kick time.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, down 2 scores. You're down 1 score, you kick it deep here for sure. Try and get it 2 and out, but
now when you look at how the ball is being set up, certainly it's coming this way. So where the Lions would probably love to have Javon Catoy in the mix.
And they do have Justin McInnis down there, though.
Yeah. The big man going up for it. It is caught. Let's see who made the catch there. It was the little guy, Terry Williams.
Yeah, Williams attacked it. He just went after it. Coach Benavides giving him that attaboy there, because watch, there's a lot of guys kind of looking at it, and Terry Williams goes and gets it. Although he catches it low, usually you got to get up there and win the jump ball on those onside kicks.
Well, he's caught a few kicks in his day.
Oh yeah,
probably a good one to have there, despite being maybe 5'8".
Remember, the return team doesn't have to wait for it to go 10 yards either. They can attack it before then.
All right, Lions up 14. The give to William Stanback, who bounces to his right. Brought down after a gain of 3, maybe 4.
And Calgary just loaded the line of scrimmage there.
Timeout. Calgary, this is their last timeout.
And gives Stanback no options there in the middle between the tackles. Watch it, they just send it. Trying to plug every gap and force Stanback outside, but that takes valuable time off the clock, and Dave Dickinson uses his last timeout.
Interesting situation for the Lions. Do you try to go for the first down, or maybe just get a few more yards and make it an easier field goal for Sean White at this stage, so you're back up 3 points?
And then you have a whole bunch of people say, well, why did they get conservative at that point?
Calgary brings 5. The check down to William Stanback. Stanback's got the first down.
That's the other option. So, you know, the option you talked about, which was, you know, be conservative, get a run play, get the field goal, makes it 3 scores. Lots of sense there. A lot of good reason in that choice. Second choice is to throw for the first down, but that is the risk of a pick. And the third choice is throw, but make it a check down throw, high percentage.
The Lions firmly in control as we hit the 3-minute warning. Up 14 in the playoffs. Saskatchewan is in the playoffs, and Calgary is officially out, assuming this score holds.
So you've done some good math, because I was still trying to figure out how all that would shake down. It's an important week, I know that.
Rourke with the give to Stanback. Calgary's right there waiting. Boy, at this point, they might want to just take a knee.
Yeah, well, and you know, the officials need to blow that dead faster than that.
Second and 9 for BC. Calgary out of timeouts here. Lions will let the clock bleed down. Another handoff to Stanback, who bursts to his left. Stanback has some room and another first down at the Calgary 12-yard line.
Part of the problem being in this situation is that your linebackers are selling out and kind of guessing which hole the back might be running through. But if you got a good back, and this Stanback is neck and neck with, well, he's a little bit behind Brady Oliveira after his big game earlier tonight, but second rushing title on the line.
Stenbeck's going to get a heavy diet here.
You have tonight because Oliveira had a big night. 147 for Brady Oliveira for the Bombers. They win their 8th in a row. Stenbeck tonight. Not quite at the 50 mark. So Brady Oliveira kind of separating, pulling away.
Stenbeck over 1,100 yards. He's sitting at 1,109 right now. Got 3 on the last one. Stenbeck again looking to cut left. Calgary right there. That'll set up another Sean White chip shot.
All of that is secondary, of course. Like we mentioned earlier, the personal stuff is very different. But William Stenbeck and Brady Oliveira up to date. 12:54 now for Oliveira and 1,101 for William Stenbeck. It's really a 2-horse race in the receiving category as well, with Justin McInnes and Justin Hardy, and their Ottawa doesn't play this weekend, but BC has a bye in the final week. That's an interesting run for the title.
Timeout.
Receiving department.
BC, please reset the clock to 103. 103.
Last time a BC Lion led the CFL in receiving was G. Simon back in 2007. And the last Canadian to lead among CFL receivers was Andy Fantuz back in 2010. McInnes trying to accomplish both those feats.
And tonight, he was targeted 5 and caught all 5 so far, but he's only had 37 yards. I believe he was about that behind Hardy coming in tonight.
Sean White from 14 yards to extend this back to a 3-score lead, and he does. The Lions extend their lead to 32. Nathan Rourke talked about this. And this is what they're playing for in the Gravy Bowl. Okay, we're going to hand this out postgame. Now, here's what bothers me. You and I know that if Dwayne Ford and Rod Smith were doing this game,
they would have a turkey done, demolished by now.
There would have been turkey and gravy and stuffing and all of it up here. For all of us, for you, myself, Dave Moyer, everybody, we would have been eating turkey.
Well, I apologize. I talked about it at halftime and thought, you know what, we should do the Milt Stegall carrot and celery diet.
Thanks for that.
And
Thanks.
I blew it.
Meanwhile, the Lions did not blow it thanks to 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, courtesy of their defense. They've got a 17-point lead with a minute to go, and this is going to be very different territory for the Calgary Stampeders, who came into this game thinking just win one.
Yeah.
Jake Mayer talked to us about the fact that they just needed to have some joy. They wanted to come back and just feel good about something they had done as a group. It had been a long time since they'd won. You know, at times they looked good tonight, but in the 4th quarter, it was certainly all BC's defense.
I think that Lions defense really needed that to happen. I mean, you mentioned it earlier, the Lions defense been taking some hits. It almost feels like a lot of people saying the defense has let this team down, and boy, they stepped up in this second half and made the key plays. So Ryan Phillips' group can build on that, and their next game is probably for home field.
Absolutely.
Against the Saskatchewan Roughriders in Regina.
What we didn't see is Ryan Phillips dancing after those defensive touchdowns.
I think after what's gone on over the last little while, he's saying, okay, building block. We're not there yet, just keep building.
This time Schultz throws to Hyman, who cuts back inside. Gets it out to the 45-yard line. Certainly the one tough interception for Jake Mayer. You can't blame him on the second one. Schultz throws to Logan on the check down. Logan makes a couple of men miss, crosses midfield, gets to about the BC 42-yard line. 31 seconds to go.
Anytime you have a bad year, people start thinking, like everyone has played poorly. But I thought Logan played well. Peyton Logan had a good game tonight. Bagleton made some catches and some big blocks, as he always does every week.
Schultz drops back, scrambles to his left a little bit before finding Logan on a check down to the 35-yard line. His seventh catch of the game.
The situation with Calgary, and they'll have Edmonton next. And again, maybe not completely eliminated mathematically from the playoffs. But does Dave Dickinson say, let's give Matthew Schultz a shot at starting?
Wouldn't surprise me at all. He's made the change once. Schultz thought about scrambling, kept it in, now takes off. Should have enough for a first down here before getting out of bounds. No, he doesn't get out of bounds. First down to the 19-yard line, 4 seconds to go. Time for one final play for Calgary.
Lions DBs will line up probably right around the goal line.
I think right now they're looking for turkey legs. We'll hear from some of the players after this game before going to SportsCenter, so stay with us. Got to hand out the turkey.
You going with one of the drumsticks, or you?
Pass over the middle. Ace Ely is there to break it up. And that will do it. The BC Lions win 32-15 and all but punch their ticket to the playoffs. They could be in officially, depending on what happens tomorrow, as the Lions now set their sights on second place in a potential home playoff date. They'll play Saskatchewan next week, but Saskatchewan still has some business to go tomorrow against Edmonton. But if you're the Lions, given the way 7 of these last 9 games have gone, you've got to feel pretty good tonight.
Well, you do. I mean, you can now look back and say, okay, that 2-game losing skid is over, Toronto and Hamilton. But now they say, hey, we beat Calgary, game we had to win to get, back with home field in mind in the playoffs. And then they can add to it, and we beat Montreal on a short week after playing against Ottawa in Victoria. So, all of a sudden the narrative completely changes.
Well, you know how these things work. They've lost 7 of their last 9. If they win again next week, they'll have won 4 of 6.
There you go. So, and that changes. Now, Nathan Rourke will tell you there's lots of work to be done offensively, I'm sure. But that was huge. I mentioned it earlier, but that was huge for their defense. Rick Campbell's defense